Friends, aliens, earthlings, this is Lawrence John. And if I may, I'd like to take a few minutes of your time to speak to you on a matter of grave importance, the survival of Energy 106. And I mean survival, because it's come to my attention that following a landslide switch to Energy 106, strong representations have been made to radio authorities in London, Dublin and Brussels to have Energy taken off the air. These representations have been made by the Scottish-owned Downtown Cool FM and the English-owned City Beat, who together hold a monopoly on commercial broadcasting in the Belfast and Mid-Ulster areas. As you may know, Energy 106 broadcasts from Alien Mountain in County Monaghan. The reason for this is because the Radio Authority in London are not offering any other commercial licences for Northern Ireland. And while Downtown Cool say this shouldn't be allowed, they have a transmitter situated in Newry, supposedly to fill a gap in their reception in the South Armagh, South Down areas, but in reality it's being used to beam their signal into the Irish Republic. Why else would their Newry transmitter be 10 times more powerful than their Belfast transmitter? Come on, Downtown Cool, if you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen. But Downtown Cool are not alone in sending their signal across the border. RTE have a transmitter conveniently situated at Claremont Carn, only 300 yards from the border at Newry. This supposedly is to cover North County Dublin, but we all know its purpose is to broadcast into Northern Ireland. In fact, it's already been the subject of an official complaint by Ulster Television. And while Ulster Television on one hand complain this shouldn't be allowed, on the other hand, they use powerful transmitters themselves to target viewers in the Irish Republic. How many times have you seen ads for Dublin stores on Ulster Television, particularly at this time of the year? So you see, everybody does it, and personally, I believe they should be allowed to do it. This is the age of global communications, and transmissions shouldn't stop at borders, because more signals mean more choice, and competition is a good thing, a healthy thing. Now, as some of you might know, I resigned on air at BCR some 3 years ago because of the shameful manner in which I was treated by the new English owners of BCR, which subsequently changed its name to City Beat. I promised then I was going to set up a vibrant news station, and I've done that with Energy 106, a station which now enjoys an audience of over 200,000 listeners. Now I make another promise. If Energy 106 is taken off the air, I will dedicate my every waking hour to breaking the monopoly held by the existing, not even locally owned stations. I have now started a campaign to put pressure on the UK Radio Authority to grant more licences for Belfast and more stations for Northern Ireland in general. It's absolutely scandalous that Downtown Cool have so many frequencies, while other local business people can't even apply for a licence. The main reason there are no licences offered is that for years Downtown have told the Radio Authority that there is no need for other radio stations. Indeed, Downtown insisted for 13 years that there was no need for other radio stations until 1989, when the Monaghan-based KISS 103.7, on which I had the pleasure of working at the time, demonstrated by its success that there clearly was a need for more radio stations. Suddenly, the Radio Authority recognised that need, but instead of licensing KISS 103.7, they gave Downtown a licence to operate Cool FM, in my opinion, a watered-down copy of the KISS 103.7 format. They then proceeded to license the lame duck community station BCR. Whilst not happy with this outcome, I did welcome these new stations because at the very least they meant extra choice for listeners. I even worked in one of them, BCR, in the hope that I could change things from the inside. Sadly, the powers that be didn't want change, or at least wouldn't allow it. What's more, Downtown, who were allowed a 25% share in BCR, even tried to have me banned from working there. With hindsight, they would have been doing me a favour had they succeeded. So here we are again, 10 years later, and there's still a need for more stations, as proven by the success of Energy 106 and the ease with which it has captured a major share of the local market. There's absolutely no reason why Northern Ireland shouldn't have a dance music station like Energy 106. No reason why, if people want a country music station, a rock music station, or even a business news station, that they shouldn't have them. The frequencies are there. They're available. Let's get them licensed, and if we run out of frequencies to license, why not take some of them off Downtown Cool, who are obviously not even capable of competing with one man and his dog, namely me and my dog Lobo. For the last 3 years, since conceiving the idea and inventing the format for Energy 106, I personally have chosen all the music, played all the music, written all the jingles, written, voiced, produced and sold all the ads, assisted only by my dog Lobo. Now I say this not to boast about how good or how great I am, but to show you what one man can do given the freedom to compete alongside the big companies. And compete I have. According to the most recent research, Energy 106 has captured over 2/3 of its target audience, the 15 to 30-year-olds. As well, I might add, as a sizable portion of 8 to 14-year-olds and 30 to 49-year-olds. This is what worries the opposition. They're worried, and they'll be worried even more because from now on, it's no more Mr. Nice Guy. Like Hydra, the monster in Greek mythology, if they cut off my head, I will grow 2 in its place. If they cut these heads off, I will grow 4 in their place, and so on. Also, I have started legal proceedings in the European Court of Justice and will be bringing a case to answer before this court as to why Energy 106 shouldn't be granted a license to operate within Northern Ireland and to continue to broadcast across the border like Downtown Cool, UTV and RTE, not to mention Atlantic 252, which targets the British mainland from its base in the Irish Republic. Now, our competition will say we're breaking the law. We're not. But even if we were, some laws are meant to be broken. History has proven that if a law is unjust, unfair, or just plain stupid, then sometimes it has to be broken to bring about change. If Radio Caroline and the other pirate stations of the 1960s hadn't broken the law, there might never have been a BBC Radio 1 or even a network of commercial independent stations because the BBC insisted at the time there was no need for any other stations. So from today, enjoy Energy 106 while it's around and show your support for Energy 106 as well as support for the need for more new radio stations by signing a petition. A petition I intend to present to the Radio Authority in London as well as to the Secretary of State for Northern Ireland, Peter Mandelson, and the Prime Minister, Tony Blair. Copies of this petition will be available to sign at CD Heaven, High Street, Belfast, and also at the Outer Limits, Ann Street, Belfast, and all Energy 106 roadshows and events from this day forth. I'm sorry for having to interrupt your normal music programming, but I feel it's necessary to draw attention to the possibility, and it's only a possibility at this stage, of a more permanent interruption. As you listen to this message, I will be in London, Dublin, or perhaps Brussels, but on my return, Tuesday or Wednesday, just in time for the Energy 106 night at Paradise Lost, I will bring you an update. In the meantime, I'd like to thank all of our advertisers for their continued support. Thanks also to our new young recruits who have recently joined Energy 106 in sales and promotions, Danny and Darren, and of course our newly arrived DJs, Tommy B, Jimmy C, and Danny D. But most of all, I'd like to thank you, the listeners, for making Energy 106 the most popular, and now it seems, the most feared radio station in the province. Long live freedom of choice and freedom of competition. Thank you.